So sorry, but I'm not taking off my glass.
Lockyer takes a shot. It's low. He's got it. I think he's got it.
Merlin, are you going to speak?
But for me, it was a winner. David.
Well, I'm afraid it wasn't for me, Margaret.
Thank God you're here. Grandma's been raped.
On. Welcome back to On the Air Tonight, the number one podcast that reviews free-to-air television in Australia and many more things that don't fall into that category.
Many, many more things.
I'm Jake.
I'm Tom.
And we're back.
Welcome back to the OTAP boys. Welcome back to you.
Thanks,
as
mate.
someone who had a week off the mic. I mean, so did I. But I had a week on the mic with part Australian, part Chinese last week.
You did. We've had that one in the chamber for a few weeks, couple months now.
Yeah, a better part of a year, probably.
No, you didn't like...
Did it end of last year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Not the better part of it.
No. We've had it for the better part of weeks.
Yeah.
We thought we'd pull that one out in the circumstances in which we may not be able to record 1 week. Jake had a few scheduling issues last week.
Yes.
Couldn't make it into the...
Let's call it that.
Let's call it scheduling.
Some clerical errors happened.
Jake had a world of clerical errors.
I didn't have my papers up to date, so I was barely allowed back into the country.
Yeah, never left the country, but was barely allowed to stay in the country.
Yeah, absolutely. Let alone fucking near a studio.
Yeah, they said, mate, we're revoking your podcast license.
You can vote. You can buy alcohol. You can apply for a house loan. You're not getting in a studio.
Can I see your podcast papers, Chief?
Let me just see. What are your recordings? Oh, okay.
Okay.
Interesting.
Awful format. And also,
no structure at all.
the energy you give me right now does not warrant you to get in a studio or hold a podcast permit.
Who allowed you to start a podcast, mate?
People listen to you? Because right now you're giving me kind of like weak Magoo kind of...
I kind of just want to ignore you looking at your face.
You're not charismatic. I know I've pulled you over, so you're probably a bit scared and this isn't ideal for you when your house is flooded, but you're not someone who I go and listen to on a mic right now.
This is just, it's not even an authoritative body. It's just someone called the ego police. They just fucking humble you.
Yeah. They call them the tall poppies.
Yeah, it's the tall poppies.
Yeah.
I like that.
There's a skit.
Yeah.
A bunch of dudes with fucking like militant boots on just running around humbling people.
Yep.
Yeah.
TPPD.
The TPPD.
The Tall Poppy Police Department.
And it's an American film, but they're all Australian, the TPPD.
Yep.
Yeah. Right through the nation.
Down on the ground! Put down the extra large Magnum condoms. We know you've only got an average sized penis.
Yeah. Fucking Nick Kyrgios isn't that good. He's good, but he's not that good. Let's tear him down a bit. Cameron Smith was a cheater. He spoke to the refs even though he's a champion. You know, just like rife with tall pop.
Yeah, absolutely. Just, humanizing it or humbling everyone.
Taking everyone down to our level.
But there's only so long you can keep the boys down.
Yeah, no. Jake got his license back.
Yeah. I got my papers.
He had to jump through a few rings, but...
Spent a little bit of time on Silk Road.
Yes. And he's back in the studio this week, replacing part Australian, part Chinese from last week.
Thanks for checking in, Pap, or subbing in.
Thanks for subbing in. We'll have to do an episode with the three of us one time.
I would love that.
That would be nice.
I'd absolutely love to do a podcast with Farrelly Senior and Farrelly Junior.
What a dynamic. I'm kind of worried. Like, I don't know. I think it'll be fun. We'll do one. It'll be fun. We'll get him up to Brizzy one day. I don't think anything could go wrong. What could go wrong? You heard the last episode. Nicki Minaj. Was that the one with the big tits? Okay, Dad.
Yeah, Tom sent the episode to me. He's like, give this a listen and see what you think. And he sent it to me. I was like, 2 hours of recording. So a real deep talk here.
Yeah, it turns out I sent Jake the raw, unedited version of the podcast.
I was like, timestamp here. Your dad drops a couple of profanities that...
Some uncouth words.
They wouldn't fly in 1992, let alone 2022.
And I'm like, I swear I cut those out. Because I remember him saying them, and I swear I did another edit where I got rid of those. And you know what's funny? Like, I don't know if you listened to the one that I actually uploaded. Probably not after spending 2 hours listening to it.
I think I did. I did my part. I was like, you know what? I've heard it. I've heard the better version.
Yeah. Well, when I edited it, I actually went through and like jumped. I didn't play the whole songs. Like when we put on Dark Fantasy, I cut through Dark Fantasy.
Yep.
So you're just sitting there listening to all 3.5 minutes of Dark Fantasy. Whereas the Potata, the refined version that they got was
Just
me
little
cutting her-
snippets.
yeah, just little snippets of like, or cut to dad saying something about the song.
Yep.
Yeah. So sorry you had to sit through that.
Oh no, it was a pleasure. Honestly, like I had a lot of fun listening to the uncut penis that was the podcast from last week in all its glory. Especially when not only the regressive terms Lance used, but also just like you were trying to show him the whole of Kanye's discography, which what's he got, 6-7 albums?
Yeah.
And you were like,
More, I think.
and he's like, and Lance is just like, how many songs you got to go? And you're just like, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5. And he was like, you got one.
Yeah. He's
You
like,
got one shot.
we're going to call it here. Choose between 808s and Heartbreak and Yeezus.
And just hated 808s.
Hated 808s. As soon as it got away from like Kanye, boom bap, old school, just fucking classic rap.
Yep.
Anything a little bit artistic, Dad was like, I hate this.
So yeah, if you do want to, we would strongly recommend you go check out episode 54 of the podcast where Tom talks to his dad, Smoked Paprika, and Paprika basically just relates everything back to Bob Dylan.
Yeah. Hey, Dad, here's this Kanye West song. Well, that reminds me of what Bob Dylan did.
Hey,
Here's another Kanye song. That reminds me of what Johnny Cash said one time. Okay, Dad. Let's
right.
just listen to your music next time.
that's not a bad idea.
Flip the format.
Him just educating us. Or,
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be good. Showing us blowing in the wind.
Absolutely.
The answer, my friend.
But what's
blowing in the wind? The
Oh.
answer is blowing in the wind.
See, this one's about answers blowing in the wind, boys.
Quite literally.
Profound.
We're taking notes. How many roads must a man walk down?
Is he asking
7.
that or is that rhetorical? 7. I reckon 32.
That's an old Simpsons bit.
Yeah.
You remember that? Lisa's singing how many roads must a man walk down or whatever. And then Homer walks in and he's like, 7. She's like, Dad, it's rhetorical. Do you even know what rhetorical means? And Homer goes, do I know what rhetorical means?
Tight joke.
Dude,
Very tight.
OG Simpsons. You know, Conan O'Brien was fucking all over that.
The ADHD of joke making, just like
Yeah.
saying a different joke every 5 seconds, moving down a tangent.
Yeah, just absolute autism.
We'll get there someday.
Well, I think we're there. Just none of them as refined or as funny as Matt Groening's work.
Yeah, same level of
Frenetic energy.
yes, yeah, jumping around from subject to subject.
Yeah.
Nowhere near the amount of cohesion or tightness.
We are the Simpsons episodes of podcasts. If you think about the structure of a Simpsons episode, remember the start of it, the first 5 minutes never tied into the rest of the episode.
No, the best writing you've seen. Yeah.
It was like they start at a circus or like Homer loses his wallet or something.
Or they're at a farmer's market and it turns into Bart getting arrested.
Yeah, 2 minutes later, it's like Homer's put on 300 kilos and he's wearing a muumuu. Okay.
Yeah.
2 minutes ago, he was being abducted by aliens, but okay.
It's excellent writing.
I think we need to be in the Simpsons writing room.
All right. Well, we've never written anything. Well, I was going to say we've never written anything in our life, but you've been a busy boy writing away, haven't you?
I have been a busy boy, Jacob. That's a tight Simpsons-esque segue.
Thanks, mate.
You've done there.
No doze here.
No, don't. How do I even explain this one? This is, if you follow the OTAT socials or even Tom Farrelly on socials, you might have seen something this week. Your boy has been writing.
Mm-hmm.
If you've heard of Batuta Advocate, I wrote something, did not get published by the Batuta Advocate.
I was going to say,
Don't.
you guys heard of Nike? Well, this is a brand that wants to be like Nike. No.
You heard of Batuta? Not them. It's not what I did.
Good. Starting with no coherence. I like it.
But if you've ever read there's a lot of satirical news websites. Batuta definitely started the trend. Not true. The Onion started the trend.
They did, yeah.
Yeah. If you've heard of The Onion, satirical news stories that are jokes. Hello Sport, greatest podcast in the world, greatest sports podcast in the world.
Second greatest podcast.
Second greatest podcast in the world. If you're on YouTube, check the lid. Check the lid on Tom because he's rocking a bit of merch.
He's wearing a hat.
They have Hello Sport have created a subsection, their own satire news site called the Hello Sport Herald. And they invite up and coming writers, You know, if you can call myself that. They say, fancy yourself a writer, send in your best work. So I just wrote a little meme about the Brisbane floods and the fact that we're on. I'm not going to explain the joke right now. Go and read it because I'm going to butcher it. But Your Boy was published. They put it up on the website.
Butcher the joke that you wrote and got published.
Yeah,
No one. I definitely wouldn't know it.
Couldn't do it justice, honestly. Couldn't do my own work justice. The only thing that I'm mad about, Jacob, when I sent the article in, obviously you send it to the editor of the Hello Sport Herald, and he vets everything that goes on. Some stories go up. If they're poo-poo, they don't. Mine went up, but not without a little bit of editing. The Hello Sport Herald editor.
The man's been doctoring.
He's been doctoring. He's been tinkering away with his scalpel and defibrillators.
Yeah, full castration of what was an eloquent and witty and irreverent.
Tight.
What
was once an eloquent, tight, irreverent article, he doctored. He butchered, he nip-tucked it within an inch of its life and turned it into something else entirely.
Yeah, I mean, elements were removed from the original. The overall message still gets across, but I think the punch of the joke that was being delivered was a lot better in the original.
I think so. If you go and read the article, basically the original one that I wrote was about the concept was Anastasia Palaszczuk, Premier of Queensland, at a press conference, addressing the people of Brisbane, saying, what do you fucking expect? Like, we're in the River City. This is what happens every 10 years or so.
We're built on a body of water. If you want to have margies under the Story Bridge every Sunday, if you want to tie one off down there with bull sharks swimming under your feet, then you're going to, cop some trench foot. Yes.
Every 10 years or so.
A term that I haven't heard since watching Band of Brothers, but...
Yeah, real wartime shit.
You mean gangrene? Trench foot, mate. It's different.
So the original concept was Anna telling us to shut the fuck up and stop whinging. And by the way, let me preface all of this with the floods are devastating, and if you've been affected by them, I'm sorry. That sucks.
Good work prefacing after the fact. So post-facing?
Post-facing. Should have said that 10 minutes ago. All of my empathy goes out to those with trench feet.
All two of you.
And basically, the editor of Hello Sport Herald said, well, we don't really want the heat of Anastasia Palaszczuk coming down on us, so we're going to remove her. We don't want to misquote her and have her come for us. So let's just rework things. Take Anna out of the picture and just have all of her points to the people of Brisbane portrayed as yours being Tom's points to the people of Brisbane.
Yeah, where instead of her being a suki lala, you're the suki
now
lala.
I'm the suki lala.
Yeah.
And it seems like they're my real opinions. Whereas in the original article, it was the joke opinions of a premier who clearly didn't say them.
Yeah.
So now it kind of changed it from clever, irreverent, political satire to old man yelling at the sun.
Yes. Yeah, very much just like, oh, life sucks.
Yeah. Oh, why is everyone complaining?
It's just one thing after another. First it's the pandemic.
Yeah.
Then it's the floods, and now we got World War III.
Yeah, and people see Tom Farrelly on it and go, oh, that is real opinions? Hope this is a joke website.
I think we can comfortably say that anyone listening to this podcast, if they read the article, they know that it's satire. They know that it's a joke because they hear you on this podcast, and very rarely do you say something serious.
Very rarely.
I should say very rarely do we say something serious.
Very rarely do we say anything serious or of note.
So you'd hope the people reading the article, go give the article a read. Let us know what your thoughts are. If Tom should continue with this this passion of his, it's a good read. I read both versions, and you'll enjoy it regardless.
Couple of kecks in there. But you would, and if you know what I was actually thinking?
What's that?
Go to Hello Sport Herald, read the article that was uploaded, and then after that, why don't we post the original uncut version on our socials?
You could.
Go to OTAT, see the original, and go, and then you be the judge. Let me know which was better.
Yeah, we're not afraid to call out a premier for something that they didn't say.
Yeah, sometimes they deserve it.
Yeah.
You want the power, you want the money, You got to take the heat sometimes.
Exactly right.
Good comes with the bad. Can't get the rain without the rainbow, am I right?
You want to say
Is
that
that what
again?
they say?
Said that with all the confidence in the world.
Shaky fucking. I'm just calling out premiers and I'm fucking fearless. I don't care who knows it.
Fucking coward. Okay, because you're a coward.
Yeah. So yeah, been a busy week over on my end.
It has. It has been a busy week, mate.
But not just for me, for everyone. The people of Brisbane, Jacob.
Mate,
The people of South-East Queensland. It's no joke.
I think the word torrential comes to mind.
I think the word...
Tarantula?
yeah, tarantula. I saw a lot of 8-legged tarantulas getting around.
Yep.
Devastating.
Yeah,
People lost their homes. People lost their businesses.
Yeah, it's giving me strong nostalgic, and not in a good way, flashbacks of 2011, where it's like fucking 2 a.m., just sweeping water out of my garage at my mum's house. Just great times. Loving
time.
it. I mean, like, I'm pretty lucky, and I feel like you're in the same position where there's been minor water damage. Worst thing that's happened is one of my housemates, like, water leaked through onto his carpet, through the walls, so his carpet's soaked. And I'm like, well, it's not my carpet, so I don't really give a fuck. But
Do you need me to get Tom to puke on it? Because I'll get it.
it might cover up the smell, the moldy, muddy turd smell a little bit.
Oh, Matt, you got some brown water on your carpet?
That's cute.
Try Tom's fucking kebabs.
Hold my beer.
Try Tom's stomach acid.
Tom's Halloween nightmare of his bodily fluids all over my fucking floor.
Yeah, dressed up as vomit to Jake's party and just laid on his carpet.
I wish you did that.
He better than my real costume.
At least I would have seen it coming then and been like, yeah, right.
Yeah, yeah. You're about to lay on my carpet, aren't you, Mr. Vomit? Yeah, no. So people have been. It's funny. After, I mean, what's been like a crazy couple of years for everyone. Obviously, we've got floods now. Which, by the way, I wasn't in Brisbane in 2011, so kind of dodged that bullet.
Did the Gold Coast get hit?
In 2011? I don't know.
Where were you?
I was on the Gold Coast,
Okay.
living it up.
All right.
I think Rabina did okay.
Doing a couple of shackers while fucking there's people just drowning in the Brisbane River.
I was catching barrels down at D-Bar. I know nothing about surfing. Don't come at me.
Trying to sell fake ecstasy pills to sweaty tweens at schoolies.
Change sell to buy, and then you've got some truth. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I see.
Okay.
Buying fake drugs from sweaty tweens at schoolies.
Much cooler as I mature.
Were you driving down your orange BMW convertible, Bernard Tomic?
Yeah, very, very cool shit. But can the Gold Coast escape if Brisbane cops it like this? Like, surely in 2011, if the Brisbane floods were worse than they were, if the Brisbane floods were worse than they are now, all of it's just like rolling down to the Goldie, right? I don't know how like geometry works.
I was going to say, I would probably pose that question to someone with some sort of meteorology degree.
You don't want to just like hash it out, the two of us, a couple of idiots who don't know.
I mean, we can.
Anything.
Yeah. I think Gold Coast is fucked. Like,
I think
just
Gold Coast.
cut it off.
Well, the way it works is Gold Coast is below Brisbane. And guess what? Gravity's a thing, bro. Water runs downhill.
Yep.
So I think Brisbane floods, Gold Coast floods a day later. That's the end of it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that makes total sense.
Yeah, that's why do you think Sunny Coast is fine? It's above Brisbane.
Yep. They also name themselves Sunshine Coast, so they're just right there. They've debunked any chance of getting snow, hail, rain, floods, tornadoes. Sunshine. You might get a little bit of a burn, a little bit of a sizzle.
Might get a tan.
Might get a nice base going.
But you could just stay inside.
You can stay inside.
It's not going to ruin your house.
Go say cowabunga down at Maroochydore RSL.
If you want to protect yourself as a city, as a city planner, if you're building a town and you want to protect it, you want to future-proof it from natural disasters,
call it something cool.
call it something sunny. Like, you don't hear places like the Gold Coast. It's golden for a reason. There's sunshine. They don't get natural disasters.
Yeah. I mean, was it called the Gold Coast because of the golden weather and the golden sand on the beaches? Or was it around during, the big rush of 1864, mate?
The bullion era.
The billionaires.
The billionaires.
Real slumdog billionaire over here.
Yeah. That's why you hear places like Sydney or like New South Wales. It's like, you got Wales in the name. Of course, you're going to flood. Like,
yep.
Call yourself sunny fun time and then you're fine.
Call yourself, and it's just apathetic weather.
Yeah, it's just fucking, it's like Seattle. It rains all the time in Seattle. It's because you call it Seattle.
Okay.
It's got like 2 L's in it. L's look like rain.
L's look
As
like
letters.
L's look like rain.
Yeah, L's look like. I'm gonna stand by
Okay,
it.
all right.
Think of another letter that looks more like rain. Rain, flood, full. There's an L in there. Float.
I mean,
there's an L in there.
I would think like a semicolon, but it's not a letter, would look more like rain than an L.
Well, you got to think what's like more associated, just like on general vibe than like physically looking at it. Like L is such a wet word,
Yeah.
such a wet letter. Sorry, like I said, flood, float, flop. You do all those things, and
It's a very smooth, almost
very wavy,
fluid. It's
yeah,
a fluid letter, yeah.
Why do you think the word fluid has so many L's in it?
Yeah, you're not it has one,
It's
but
got- it sounds like heaps.
that's a
though.
lot compared to car.
Yeah, car's got almost none.
Sunshine Coast, not an L in fucking sight, mate.
None,
Gold
dude.
Coast, one.
Just one, but it's surrounded by O's, which look like the sun.
So how do you explain Brisbane?
Brisbane is just like so consonant heavy. You know?
It's a very humid
It's
sounding
a very
town.
humid, dry. Yeah, not dry. It's a humid
Brisbane.
Brisbane. Like you can, it's 90% humidity just
Yeah,
by saying
you
it.
can almost climb through the atmosphere. It's that thick while like saying the word.
Cut it with a
Brisbane.
knife, mate. Brisbane. The hard B on it.
Yeah.
It's like,
Whereas Sydney's kind of like wispy crepe paper.
Yeah.
Like real flimsy.
yeah, Sydney's very, and very like corporate. It's so like short and like Sydney.
Yeah.
It's
It sounds like a startup company.
Yeah, there's no art there. It's just like go to work, rat race, go home.
Melbourne's, it's got a bit of
Pretty artsy.
pretty artsy.
There's
Like
some L's and
if you ask anyone outside of Australia to pronounce it,
Melbourne.
you need to tell them it's basically MELBUNN, Melbourne,
yeah, MELBIN.
not Melbourne.
Melbourne, not Melbourne.
Yeah, Melbourne.
Melbourne. Do Australian cities sound like their names? Is the question we're posing.
Darwin?
Darwin is the most Darwin fucking
Don't tell me Darwin doesn't sound like fucking heat stroke.
Darwin, dude. I'm Darwin.
I'm sweating
I
thinking about
am
the word Darwin.
It's so fucking Darwin, dude. Darwin Downs. Oh my god, I'm down in Darwin.
I mean Perth. Maybe it's our history of knowing these places where we're associating characteristics of the city with it, but Perth just sounds ISO. It just sounds like lonerism.
It's a little one. It's one little syllable on its own. It hasn't got a single syllable.
I mean, most isolated major city on the planet.
Perth.
Biggest artist to come out of Perth, Tame Impala. What's the name of his second album? Lonerism.
Lonerism.
What letters in Lonerism?
L.
It's all coming together. You see
Are you seeing what we're saying?
Are you seeing the red lines connecting between the dots?
What the one that is really, really, really sounds like its name?
Adelaide.
Oh, okay. So I wasn't going to say
Adelaide sounds like you're going to get stabbed by someone's light bulb and then they're just going to smoke out of
that.
it.
Yeah, Adelaide.
Real like hilltop hood sounding.
Yeah, very Adelaide. It's like
Radelaide.
it's very. I feel like
Chatelaide.
Yeah, very Chatelaide. I feel like a lot of chads come out of Chatelaide.
A lot of dock workers, really
Yeah.
rough and tumble footy players.
just no frill stuff.
Hobart.
Hobart sounds like Hobart. Hobart's very boaty, right?
Well, it sounds foreign almost.
Yeah.
My sister just came back from a trip to Tassie, and she's like, yeah, it honestly feels like a different country. Like the flora, the fauna, like all of the vegetation, and even the animals. Like it just, you go there, and it's just, you can tell it's not a tropical environment. Obviously, it's closer to fucking Antarctica.
Yeah.
But yeah,
It's not Australia.
no,
It's Hobart.
it's Hobart.
You like get around on a little fucking yacht down there, or like
Barge.
they probably don't have barge. Like,
Get a barge.
may
to
as well call
Hobart.
it barge, dude. Call Hobart barge.
And doesn't Launceston sound like the fancy side of Tasmania?
Yes.
Like Hobart's like where all the footy goers, the
Hobart.
battlers, the miners, the battlers, the blue collar workers.
Easy to pronounce.
And then Launceston's all the dark mofo.
Launceston.
Intellectuals.
You think people from Hobart can pronounce Launceston?
Oh.
No fucking way.
They
It's too
get to
many
the
C's and S's.
They get to like the first letter and they're like, it's too wet.
It's way too wet, dude. It's way too many L's in this. Launceston. It rains and we go to dark mofo.
And I think the only other one is Canberra.
That's what I was gonna say before.
Fucking wank.
Canberra sounds like the most Canberra thing ever.
Wank.
Yeah. We've got Parliament House. And we've got the Raiders.
Ew, we're the capital city.
We're the capital city.
How's this? Okay, so Queensland.
Please.
Queensland, yeah, okay. The land the Queen was in.
I don't think we covered Queensland, but Queensland is very Queensland.
Pretty simple. New South Wales, I guess, like Kind of looks like the southern part of Wales. It's new. No, it's not old South Wales.
Makes sense.
And then, you go around the country. Northern Territory, makes sense. WA, SA, Tassie.
Quite practical.
Calling yourself the ACT, a little bit pretentious, in my opinion.
The Australian capital.
Just in case you forgot, not only are we in Australia, but we're also the capital. And it's not a state. It's a territory.
It's a territory. We're not like the rest of you states. You know what it is? They've got such little going on.
Yep.
They've got such little appeal to go to Canberra that they had to go. They're the kid at the party who's like so insecure about how little they have to offer socially. So they puff out their chests and they tell yarns with heaps of mayo on them and they fucking...
So what have you been up to lately, Canberra? Oh, my dad got an Audi R8. Okay.
All right, Canberra. You good otherwise? Like, I mean, how's your relationship with like Queensland?
Oh, I wouldn't fucking know. I've been in Hawaii for the past 2 weeks, mate. Just been on holiday.
Okay. So
First class, actually, if you wanted to know.
Okay, great. Queensland, I'm just chilling with great sun, great weather, and I'm not bragging to anyone. Are you like, you're a state, right?
No, but we got legal weed.
Okay. Okay, very cool. So you're not like the rest of us. You consider yourself like a territory, is it?
Yeah, I guess so. I guess we're the only territory in Australia.
Okay.
Oh, what about me? Shut up, NT. No one cares.
Shut up, NT.
Yeah.
Shut up there, NT.
Your tourism logo is cunt.
Yeah.
This is the one time I can actually say that word on this podcast and it has relevance.
Yeah. See you in the NT. Canberra needs to shut the fuck up.
Canberra just needs to relax a little bit.
Is there any other country that is like the capital city is the most useless city of the country? Like, isn't the capital usually a desired destination?
I mean, United States, Washington D.C. Like, apart from you've got Congress, the White House. Like the Smithsonian's are pretty cool. The mall where all the museums are. Have you been to?
I haven't done D.C. I haven't done Washington D.C.
You're not really. I would say
of all the places to go to when you're in America, like that's so low on the list.
Museums are cool, but you can go to New York and go to the Natural History Museum there.
I'm not going to the big penis building.
Correct. I mean,
I'm not going to see the Lincoln.
You compare like our capital to like England, like London, the business cornerstone of the planet.
It makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Is the capital city of every country just like where Parliament House is, where the White House is, where the president lives?
The prime minister or president, the diplomatic or leader of the country.
Leader. Yeah,
I guess
is that
so.
what they base it
like,
off?
does Putin live in Moscow?
Don't know. He lives in Ukraine now.
Is Moscow the? We're getting into some hot L's here, some hot water,
some hot L's,
some hot fluid.
That's a good thing. If we had a reason, that's what Jamie's going to look up for us. But also, if that is the case, and the capital city is just where the leader of the country lives, why doesn't the leader of the country live in a livable destination?
Yeah.
Why isn't ScoMo in Queensland or even Melbourne?
Yeah.
Like, I could accept that. Why? Maybe because we despise them so much as a nation, we just like shove them off to Canberra.
Yeah, I don't know. It's
go sit out there with your green football team.
I'm sure there's some justifiable reason. Like, it's probably something to do with like, if the Prime Minister lived in Brisbane or Sydney or Melbourne, there'd be some sort of favoritism towards that state.
Yeah. They need to be Switzerland.
Even though
impartial.
Even though ACT is girt by New South Wales.
Yes, ACT is girt by New South Wales, as we are girt by sea. Yeah.
Yep.
That's a patriotic way of describing. Is there any other word
little reference drop? You guys heard the national anthem. Second stanza's pretty tight, but
yeah. Is there any other situation in which you've heard the word girt? What other context does girt get used in?
Literally just when I'm making I've said it maybe twice.
Well, I mean, just then.
I've said it 3 times probably my whole life.
Yeah.
Twice has been the past week.
Yeah.
Once now. The other time when I was talking to my sister about how she said like, fucking Tassie's just, surrounded by water. I was like, oh, you'd say it's girt.
It says like girt by sea.
She's like, yes, it is girt. Yeah. She's
saying it over and over again.
Your head is girting. You're girting my brain right now. You're surrounding it, but also hurting it.
I girt myself today to see if I still feel.
Bit of Johnny ouch.
Johnny ooh. Should the national anthem have words in it that no one uses anymore? Tell me that. Like when they
that's where else would they be, used?
well, they would go into oblivion and language would evolve and we would not use them anymore like it should.
Yeah, I can't think of any time. If you're listening right now, give us a time when you've heard someone use the word girt and it didn't sound completely forced.
Yeah, you can't slip girt in and just go about your day without. If you're in a conversation with someone and they say girt and it's not related to the Australian national anthem, call them out on it because they know what they're doing and it didn't come naturally to them.
Correct.
And they should be called out on that.
You know, another word somewhat similar in that vein. I think as soon as you say it, you get labeled with what you're trying to accuse someone else of.
Pretentious. Hyperbole.
So pretentious, you're on the right vein. Ostentatious.
Oh.
Ostentatious is basically like the doctorate. Like if you went to Oxford or Cambridge or something, or Yale, instead of saying you're being really pretentious, you'd say, "Oh, you're being really ostentatious."
Ostentatious.
And even saying that, it's like you sound like a wanker saying that word, mate.
It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy, that word.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like you can't say that. You can't accuse someone of being ostentatious without being ostentatious yourself.
Ostentatious as a word is a mirror. It comes out of your mouth and then a mirror comes up and you have to look yourself in the mirror and go, "Oh, I'm ostentatious for using ostentatious."
It's a boomerang word.
It's a boomerang word. You can't say it without it coming back to you.
No.
You're being a bit ostentatious. I'm being ostentatious. You just use ostentatious.
I don't even know what that means.
I don't even know what it means, but I bet it means
I bet it means douchebag.
I'm so not ostentatious that I don't know what ostentatious
Osgan
means.
Gravemacious. I don't even know how to pronounce it.
What's that word?
I'm just mispronouncing ostentatious.
Oh, okay.
Oath and Macy.
I couldn't even spell it, let alone say it. That's how non-ostentatious I am.
The ox is emaciated.
Eh? A-U-S-T-E-N.
A-U-S-T. No, it's ostentatious.
How do you spell it?
O-S-T.
Oh, fuck, okay.
I'm going to sound super ostentatious spelling it, but I'm pretty sure it's O-S-T-E-N-T, A-T-I-O-U-S, ostentatious. Yeah.
Ostentatious. O-S-T-E-N-T-A-T-I-O-U-S.
I'm pretty sure that's how it's spelled.
Yeah, love that.
And you know what? If I don't know how to spell it, I completely remove myself from being ostentatious.
I would never accuse you of being ostentatious.
Many things.
I'd
many
accuse
things.
you of being Austin Powers.
Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, don't do me like that, baby.
Do you think Austin Powers has a less sexy, more pretentious cousin named Ostentatious? Sequel coming.
I think he's got that, and he's also got a way cooler, more chill redneck cousin named Kenny Powers.
Yeah, dude. Hell yeah.
Universe where Austin Powers and Kenny Powers are related.
I'd love to see that.
I can throw a ball like a fucking rocket. Oh yeah, baby. You know what I can throw like a rocket? The rocket between my hands.
Do I make you Randy? Who throws a shoe? Stop quoting Austin Powers.
We're not actually reviewing Austin Powers this week.
If you are wondering what we're doing this week, floods. We are reviewing Channel 9's coverage of the devastating Queensland floods.
Yes.
We're not reviewing the floods themselves because that would be a cheat to not watch free-to-air television.
Anticlimax, if you ask me. Oh, we're not reviewing it. Yeah, redacted.
We are not reviewing the floods because that would be a deviation from the format.
It'd be insensitive as well.
It would be insensitive, and we're not about insensitivity or deviations in this game. What we are doing is sticking to the format and talking about free-to-air content, that content being Channel 9's coverage of the Queensland floods.
A current affair.
That being said, Jacob, you kind of touched on this before. You weren't too affected by the floods.
Thankfully, I'm in Barden. I'm not going to give you my address, but basically, like where we are in North Brisbane, we're super lucky because there's the suburbs that girt us. Ashgroves, the Gap, Paddington, Rosalie, Milton. Are just
real dirty suburbs.
Ravaged, just absolutely ravaged. We're so lucky that we are where we are on a hill. That the worst thing that happened was because we copped a year's supply of rain in the space of like 3 days. We got a little bit of water damage just from like it banking up in certain areas. But all in all, like I don't have anything to complain about.
Very lucky, you're a very, very lucky man. It's crazy to think because Because I was fine as well. Thank you for asking.
I actually didn't want to know. That's why I didn't ask.
For anyone out there wondering, I'm in New Farm, but somehow I'm at like kind of the top of the bowl of New Farm, and all the water. It rained, as we all know. For those who aren't in Brisbane, by the way, we are your men on the ground right now. We are the journalists. Jacob, come in. I'm out on the streets. And it's like New Zealand calling in, you know. Alex Williams, shout out Alex Williams' cousin. Got a review to read out of yours later this week. He's wondering what's happening in Brisbane. TAC, the Animal Chin, he's wondering what's happening. He's in San Clemente, California. So we are your men on the ground with your eyes on the road. We'll go with it.
Sure.
So that's why we feel it's important to bring you these messages this week. But I digress. In New Farm, I'm at the top of the bowl. I have almost no water damage. It rained and it rained and it rained for like 3 days straight. And my backyard, I don't know how it's not a swimming pool. Like, I don't know where all the water's going. I think it's just like rolling down the back.
I think it's going into it's going into your neighbour's backyard.
It's going into my back neighbour's backyard. Yeah, that's the harsh truth of it. But then they can't complain because it's then going into their neighbour's backyard.
Well, their house is in the way.
Their house is in between.
Yep.
The two of it.
So they're going to get a good fucking power wash of their house.
But then eventually it goes down.
Yeah, 1 + 1, mate.
Water goes down and then it ends up in Burleigh on the Gold Coast, as we all know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because geography.
Yeah.
I mean, by that logic, it would end up in Tasmania. But
no,
you know,
because we all have our anti-gravity harnesses on.
Yes. Well, we strap them on in cases of floods.
Just in case of living in Australia, mate. So we don't fall off the face of the earth.
Well, I can't believe all the time that I'm not falling down to the Gold Coast. Just walking around.
Just tumbling down like you're rolling down a hill.
It was like the world is a 2D map, right?
Yeah.
You look at it on a map.
Earth is flat.
How do I not like trip over and end up in Hobart?
I mean, you'd have to trip pretty far to get over that body of water.
Oh, right. There's a body of water. You're right. What's just above the...
Melbourne?
Melbourne. How do I not wake up in Melbourne?
You're basically a bowling ball knocking over the 12 apostles, just 10-pin bowling.
But my point is, I avoided it, and I'm very lucky to avoid it. My old place in New Farm got fucking wrecked.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
The one you were just in?
Yeah, so where Steven is?
Yes, yeah.
They like sandbagged the whole front of it, and the Steven's up high, and as I was as well. So his actual place would not have been damaged, but the lobby.
I suppose it's down the hill. It's more Merthyr than New Farm, hey?
Well, it's just before kind of New Farm Park.
Yes.
So it's all my backyard rainwater is heading down to him.
Yeah.
And then my old place in Rosalie. Do you remember that house?
Yeah, Beck Street.
Beck Street. Nice memory, dude.
The only way I remember that is because you had a party called Beck Street's Back, all right?
Yes, the Beck Street boys.
Living with all women.
Yeah.
The Beck Street boys, Tom, I'm a girl. Boys it's an inclusive term.
Gender is fluid. Very fluid.
It's a concept.
Especially in floods.
Come on now.
But that street was fucked. I don't know if you saw images of like Rosalie shops.
Rosalie looks cooked.
Man, that street, I saw a video on Facebook from 2 houses down from mine, and it was a fucking river. Like our cars would have been fucked if we were still there.
You know the saddest thing? We're drinking 4X. Might be drinking floodwater right now, mate.
I know, we are drinking 4X.
The factory looks just desolate.
Mate, I hope that doesn't ruin them. I know they've endured fires before and they've come back.
Yeah. Oh, it's more of a cornerstone of Brisbane than the name Brisbane.
Yeah. You know what'll get them through is that Queensland spirit.
Oh, mate. Yeah.
What do you think we're drinking right now?
Fucking tastes like 8 in a row, mate.
Yeah, bottled, canned Queensland spirit.
Tastes like patriotism.
Tastes like maroon to me.
Tastes like King hits and settling checks, mate.
Tastes like Nate Miles punching Paul Gallen's head. That's what I taste. Sort of good hard sip of 4X.
Yeah, it's all right.
Aftertaste of a GI fen to the head as well.
But yeah, so
sorry, I was just, there was a point that I was making for all
Please.
that. My point is I could just keep fucking
avoiding it.
And not just floods, but I was saying this earlier in the week, like with how crazy the last few years have been, COVID and then like a war breaking out in Ukraine.
On the verge of it, yeah.
On the verge of it, if not already there. That's a war, right? There's tanks over there. Like
there's video footage of missiles being, ejected.
like missiles landing
Launched
in suburbs and like,
Oh, yeah.
like are we waiting for Putin to be like, this is war before we officially call it a war?
Yeah,
Okay.
I guess so.
Okay, I'd say if there's troops, if there's tanks are on the roads, it's a war.
It's this is very much off topic, but still on the topic of the whole Russia situation. I'm very uneducated about the subject. Like I know cliff notes here and there. One thing I saw
Enough to get yourself through a dinner party.
yeah, enough for people to be like, not an intellect, but not a fucking moron.
Not an idiot, but not smart.
Jesus Christ, you don't want to be stuck in a corner with him for more than 60 seconds.
He's in the Goldilocks zone of not ostentatious, but also not a fucking idiot.
Yeah, just the golden Labrador treatment. Like, fuck, you're an annoying dog, but you're kind of cute and charismatic. You eat so much food. You smell awful.
But you're almost endearing.
You're almost endearing.
And then you get too old and you get like the droopy red eyes.
Yeah, people like,
Labradors get, and people like, okay, throw them in the bin.
All right, it's time to
That's the equivalent of you like.
take old Yeller out back.
Yeah, it's Jacob like losing his hair.
Yeah.
He's not cute anymore. He's got the red eye sockets.
He's bald.
He's
This fucking fat prick.
those crow's feet. Yuck, he's not cute anymore.
Oh, mate.
Where were you?
I can't remember where I was.
You were saying I'm about Russia.
Yes. I know where I was talking. I thought you were asking where I was physically when I was reading this. Anyway, the point is, FIFA, the international committee that handles all soccer in the world, they basically came out and said Russia's banned from the World Cups this year, and they've come out and gone, Russia, you're banned. You can't. We're not allowing you to compete. And I find it so funny that you've got like this madman like with his fucking fat index finger over the big red button, like ready to just completely obliterate half of Europe, like or half the world if he wants to. And the best thing that the world has got to offer, instead of like obviously we've got like like aid going out to to Ukraine and stuff like that. But for a sports organization to come in and go, no, you're in timeout. You can't play this. Lunchtime, detention. You're not playing sport with the other kids.
Well, let's hit him where it hurts.
Yeah.
Right in the soccer.
I mean, to be fair, they did just host it 4 years ago.
Okay. I mean, I also heard that Disney are not releasing any more films in Russia.
Is that right?
Yeah, another thing. Yeah. Hit him right in the Little Mermaid.
Oh,
That'll show him.
how am I going to watch fucking 6 seasons of Bob's Burgers and that shitty new Boba Fett show now?
Yeah. No new Star Wars spin-offs.
Oh, man.
I'm pulling out. Troops, come home. Putin's just a mad fucking Star Wars fan. We're not throwing a whole lot at him, are we?
No. I mean, what can you throw at him without like? This is like as close as you're getting to poking the bear without actually laying a hand on the bear.
Yeah, because we don't. If you poke the bear, all of a sudden you're involved. And you're a target. Everyone's like, "Oh, we don't like what you're doing, but don't do it to us." I don't want to like. It's like you out the front of a pub and there's two guys punching on. You're like, "Please stop fighting," but also I don't want to get king hit.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
you don't want to step in.
You know that there's some shit's about to go down, and you kind of want to diffuse it, but not at the risk of getting a fractured jawline.
Well, you've got to self-preserve, don't you? In the nature of self-preservation, you don't want to step in with Russia.
No. It's the toughest thing about being on the other side of the planet is that like you can watch the news and that will make it feel more real, but it's just like right now the biggest thing going on for us right now is floods.
Yeah.
So like it's like okay, I get that there could be nuclear warheads dropped at any point in the next couple of weeks. Fucking downtown's flooded, mate. I can't get to work.
I can't get to work.
Yeah.
Well, it's human nature to. I mean, it's self-preservation. It's like what affects me directly.
What's right in front of me?
We're all eternally selfish. And if I can't get to work in the morning because my road is flooded, well, I want to see Nine cover that instead of the Ukraine.
Yeah.
And if you think we're being harsh, fucking didn't see any footage of the war over the last 3 days.
No.
It was all Auchenflower's underwater. And you go, holy shit, I know Auchenflower. I was there yesterday.
Yep.
Rosalie, I used to live there.
You know what letters hiding in Auchenflower and Rosalie?
Oh, what a elves.
Sneaky little fucking elf.
They keep creeping
A
in.
little wet letter, the motherfucker.
You know what word doesn't have a single L in it?
Russia.
Yeah, Ukraine.
Ukraine.
Neither of them.
No.
Yeah.
You.
So when I turn on the news and I see extremely sad footage that my heart goes out to of all the Ukrainians and the Russians doing it tough, I'm not going, that's where I get my sandwiches at work. So the empathy part of my brain isn't activated.
Yep.
So I inherently care less.
I mean,
Really tried to tiptoe around that one.
you're only human, Thomas.
I'm only human. We're all only human.
Well, I mean, yeah.
That's all we
Yeah,
are.
we're all human. Yeah.
My point was, with all the craziness over the last couple of years, when you've got war, you've got COVID, and you've got crazy floods,
Natural disasters.
you just feel like, after seeing so much suffering on the news, it's very like, oh, I'm I'm either a very lucky or a very privileged boy.
Oh, mate, we're so lucky.
I'm just shoulder dodging. I'm just miss.
Mate, we are like, to be two able-bodied,
Yeah.
privileged white blokes being able to just talk shit about, oh, it took me an hour to get to work today.
Yeah.
Like, that is just the epitome of privilege.
Yeah.
You know what? It's great.
It feels good.
It feels good that I got more than other people for no reason at all.
And it sucks that people have less than us, but it feels better to have it than it does to feel bad about not having it.
I reckon just work harder.
Yeah, I reckon that's it. We're getting into.
I'm kidding.
There it is.
If anyone thought I was being insensitive,
It's
I
funny.
am, but I'm doing it in a satirical way.
I'm joking.
I'm just joking.
It instills a very it could never happen to me complex. It makes you feel invincible.
Well, that's what I mean by the fact that
It's hard to be grateful for always having an amazing life.
because it's all you know.
It's all you know.
And this sounds like we're complaining about it, but let me tell you, we're doing anything but. We're saying that we're very, very
We're celebrating.
We're very lucky, and not celebrating.
Not dancing on the graves or the flooded houses
not
of others.
rubbing it in the face of third world country
No.
kids.
But I live in a lucky country and I feel very lucky to do so. But it's hard to feel lucky every single day if you've never known true hardship.
Look, I think we can all just be thankful for the fact that our biggest worry is right now, are we going to be able to see a band with no relation to the natural disaster called Floodlights this Saturday?
An unfortunately named band named Floodlights.
Unfortunately, time
Yes.
to be named Floodlights.
I think for the purpose of Saturday, they changed their name to Dry Lights.
Okay.
Just as a trigger warning, you know? They should put a trigger warning up before Floodlights come on. Now, I know you guys have been affected by this band is called Lights.
Someone on the back is like, yep, so we call ourselves Dry Lights. And someone on the back's like, oi, it's got an L in it, you insensitive prick.
Take your L. Everyone take your L's out of your band names.
Take it out. Take it out.
I want Dry Lights. And I want... There's no other bands I can think of with L. I want Tame Impala.
Tame Impala.
Tame Impala. I'm boycotting L's. Only in band names.
And guess who's headlining the festival? It's Upe Fiasco.
It's Innard Skinnard.
It's just Cool J. Cool J.
Cool J.
Cool. Oh, Cool has a L in it.
Oh no.
Cooge.
Cooge. He's Cooge.
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 What nonsense?
Boycott L's.
What nonsense are we speaking?
So and also cot play. It's cod play.
It's cod pay.
It's cod pay. It's cod pay. Pay me for your fish.
Pay me for your 360 no scope, you little monger, you fishmonger,
Fishmonger.
mongoloid.
If I was in a war zone yesterday, or if my house was flooded yesterday, and then I woke up today not in a war zone or not flooded, I'd be very grateful and I'd count my lucky stars.
100%.
But when you have an abundance of stars, it's hard to keep counting them.
We sound like we're complaining about being able to look up at the stars right now. So let's.
I'm not talking about literal stars.
I know you're not talking about literal
Get the
stars.
metaphor, dude.
I mean, I'm following with the metaphor by using it, mate.
Okay.
I'm not saying,
thought
I
you-
can't look up at the stars, Tom.
I thought you went literal, like the floods, like, I don't know, the rain is affecting your vision of the stars or something.
No, come on, mate. I'm nowhere near educated enough to try and pull that one.
Okay. No, you're on board with the metaphor.
Yes.
To be clear, we're not complaining about how lucky we are. We're complaining about... I wouldn't even say it's a complaint. It's an acknowledgement of the fact that it's difficult to be grateful for an eternally amazing life.
And all we want to say is if you are listening in these trying times, our hearts do go out to you if you are struggling at all. And we do thank you for taking the time to listen to the podcast because there's plenty of other shit going on in the world. You don't need to sit down for an hour and whatever.
It'll be a long one.
You don't need to sit down and listen to us. So the fact that you do give us your ear, we really do appreciate that.
And we hope it helps.
And we really do appreciate, as I said, the fans, but we also appreciate the people who get involved. We try and have a back and forth dialogue with our community without actually having them in the room. We don't want to see them physically.
Well, there's not enough mics.
Not enough mics and not enough patience either.
No. Too
But
many chefs in the kitchen spoils the podcast.
But if you do want to get involved and help, interact with us, which helps grow the OTAT brand, you can leave us a comment on one of our YouTube videos, subscribe to the channel, give us a follow on Instagram, just to keep up to date with everything OTAT.
Everything OTAT.
Really helps the brand grow.
On the _air tonight. Give it a follow and show it to your mates.
Yeah.
We do have a couple of, we have quite a few reviews. It's a review heavy episode this week.
It is.
If we're not already running overtime.
Got a bit of a backlog.
Yeah. Well, we missed a week last week. So these are all reviews of the Valentine's Day special that we did.
Yes.
First review comes from across the pond, another international listener.
All right, mate, you're from across the pond. I'm from New Zealand.
I'm from New Zealand.
Oh, you sound like you're from bloody Bristol, mate.
Alex Williams. He was shouted out earlier in the show. Shout out Alex.
Alex Williams, not Williamson. We don't have any shooters on this show.
We don't have a Shooter Williamson, Lucis Aussie bloke. But Alex Williams of the Williams family, who are currently in New Zealand, most of them. Shout out Alex for always listening to the show and supporting us. Love you, cuz. He says, "Sup, lads. Love the pod as always. As someone with kids, I would highly recommend it. Had mine young, so I take solace in the fact I'll only be 41 when my youngest is 18. Keep up the good work, guys. Love that the pod is more about the yarns than the TV shows at this point."
Interesting feedback.
Interesting feedback.
We second that opinion.
Yeah. I almost want to put a poll up on the gram that is, do you prefer the loose form episodes where we don't review television, or do you want us to actually talk about shows? I'd like to get the temperature there.
Yeah, I think because of the name of the show, like we can pivot and not exclusively just do TV show review, but keep television somewhat in the gist of the conversation.
Yep.
Like today, we very, very loosely kept a current affair and Channel 9's coverage of the floods when we moved on to fucking Russia. So,
But hey, we just did the news this week.
So we might put a poll up
Yeah.
maybe over the weekend to see what the people think.
We'll put a poll up, and even without the poll, if you guys just want to reach out and let us know, do you prefer TV show episodes? Do you prefer loose form Valentine's Day special flood episodes?
Yep.
Because I've had mixed feedback from people. Some people love it when we go off script. Some people prefer it when we stick to TV shows. We'll have to get the temperature.
Absolutely.
So thank you, Alex. Moving on swiftly because we have so many.
We do.
Would you like to read Pap's review, Jacob?
Yeah, I can. Shout out to my my substitute for last week. To smoked paprika, part Australian, part Chinese. This man just never seems to take a day off. He's back in the saddle, bloody giving us more content. Lance writes, another solid podcast from the team. I'm not going to try and I'm not going to insult the man after he filled my boots so well last week. But I'll read out his review. Another solid podcast from the team, this time reviewing Valentine's Day and straying off to a fascinating discussion on marriage and potential future offspring for the dynamic duo. Sounds like we're going to have the kids together, the way he says it, which I'm not opposed to.
I'm not mad.
Imagine you and me raising a little dude.
Oh, that'd be the most, I don't know how they'd turn out. I don't know if we're good for children.
Either with really small feet or gargantuanly oversized freakish feet. Like there's no in between.
Hopefully it would average out. My DNA, your DNA clashes.
We could actually make the apex predator of a kid.
Oh, fucking oath we could. Only if it's a boy, though.
Yeah.
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 He'd play AFL and NRL.
Well, that's a discussion for another time.
I need to watch soccer.
Okay, so he writes on, there were suggestions that the world is too messed up to have kids and our planet is doomed. I have to agree with the boys there, but our world has always been a mess, so nothing has changed. And people have been predicting the end of the institution of marriage for many years. Interesting. But the TV shows like MAFS are a sign that you can't kill off marriage. Been tried before. The halftime show at the Super Bowl shows the Yanks just know how to put on a show. We'll be rolling out Jimmy Barnes until he ends up in a wheelchair. 5 stars again from the podcast that continues to impress. Well done, mate. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dad.
Thanks, Tom's dad.
Didn't receive a review of his own episode last week. You might have thought that was a bit egotistical.
I got a few people going, where the fuck are you this week, mate? I'm like, chill.
I'll be back.
Chill, okay? I'll be back next week.
Yeah, I don't think I mentioned at the start of the episode that you weren't in the episode.
No,
So-
I mean, you post it on the Insta story, but not
Yeah.
everyone checks that.
So people are just listening going, where's Jacob? He sounds a bit older and a bit wiser.
Yeah, thick New Zealand accent. He keeps referring to Bob Dylan.
Yeah. Did Jake go down a Bob Dylan train in the last week?
Did he just refer to himself as a honky?
Moving swiftly along because we have so many reviews.
Oh my God, yeah, we do.
Second last one. We have 2 from Christian Reese. Sorry, Christian. We're only going to read out one, the most recent one for time's sake. Christian TAC, the Animal Chin, writes, I'm leaving another review here since Lance's ep hasn't posted. All I have to say is I'm a huge Kanye fan and am as big. All I have to say is I'm a huge Kanye fan and am as big a fan of Smoked Pap. I'm going to say my favorite Yeezy song is Gone with Cameron and Consequence because it is so much like what he used to produce for others. Would love to have all 3 of you gents on the pod just going ham on the banter. 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10, uncut jams, said like Ye's former muse, Julia Fox.
Beautiful.
Would recommend TAC. Uncut. I always bam Safty's muse on uncut jams.
Oh, get over yourself, woman.
What is a muse?
A muse is like inspiration. So like someone who's training for classical music, like if they're playing, if they're trying to learn piano.
Right.
Mozart would be their muse.
Okay. Kind of like their idol.
Yeah, it kind
Or their
of
teacher.
like an idol, but it's like more like a, you look at them as like this, a muse could be like a painter could be looking at someone that they paint like life art of, like someone with a really nice figure, and they're like, you're my muse, you're my inspiration.
Okay.
So it doesn't have to be so much like a mentor or like a role model. It's just something that gives you inspiration.
Yeah, okay. I'm basing this work off the work that
Yeah,
you've
you're
done.
my muse.
You're my muse,
You're
dude.
my muse.
You're my muse. You're music to my ears.
You're not museless, I'll give you that much.
I am with a muse. And then the last review of this week.
Yes.
We have a return to form.
It's not just a review. This is fucking strap yourself in because we've got a goddamn soliloquy from the one and only KS, Keith Slimcock. And Keith writes, hey boys, Keith here. Sorry that I haven't been in touch. I've been existing exclusively inside the metaverse for the past year. I currently own 20 properties, 12 luxury sports cars, a super yacht, and the #1 rated podcast in the realm. They're calling me Meta Keith Rogan. If you don't know what the metaverse is, grow up. No, it's
You haven't read this review yet.
I haven't.
This is a
This
surprise
is
for you.
I leave all reviews as a live reaction. More so, it's not because I don't give any effort to the podcast outside of the time that we record. It's basically because I want to give a raw, candid reaction every single time. It has nothing to do with me not putting any effort in outside of the studio.
It's you sacrificing for the art of the pod.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. If you don't know what the metaverse is, might take a little bit too long to explain.
Go figure it out.
No, it's basically just a VR world where, it's a VR universe where Zuckerberg has set up all sorts of different
Environments?
virtual infrastructure. You can buy hotels, you can own businesses, and Keith seems to think he's the #1 podcast in there. So well done, Keith. So he says, they're calling me the Meta Keith Rogan. Will OTAT ever make the jump to the metaverse? You were talking about NFTs last week, so maybe you could release some NFTs in the metaverse. You know what? Maybe, but I feel like NFTs are old news.
NFTs are a bit last week.
Especially because the word fungible has L in it. I can't see myself using it.
I'm boycotting L words.
Not to mention I don't know what fungible means.
No.
I couldn't funge a fungi if I tried.
I can't find a fungible to fucking fund me.
You gave it a better crack than I did. It's like, there's something there. He writes, anyway, been loving the pod in 2022. Still reckon you could benefit from a soundboard. He has mentioned that to me multiple times, old Keith. Let me know if you need me to come into Trademark and install it for you. I am quite the handyman. On the topic of improving the pod, I think it could benefit from having Uncle Keithy on as a guest, but also a weekly segment to go along with reviews. Perhaps like Tom's Tall Tales or Jacob's Maniacal Multi of the Week. I don't gamble. Fuck off. Shut up. No, you don't want to see my result of bet slip. I definitely don't.
It's information.
Again, just an idea, but considering my own extremely successful podcast in the metaverse, I think it'd be wise for you to take my advice. All right, champ.
He's flopping his hog out.
He is absolutely flexing that thick fucking 4.5 inches flaccid.
Flexing his imaginary fucking podcast on us. It's real.
This boy is Quadzilla with a lap hog in between. Now, there's been a bit of talk about the number one fan of the show. I consider myself as much as a mentor as a fan to you boys, but nonetheless, I'd love to compete in a cage fight with Pap and Tak to hold the mantle of the number one fan. That's part Australian, part Chinese, and the animal chin. How do you think that would play out? To save your imagination, I've attached a photo of my physique, not safe for work, but I'd be surprised if it made it past the Nazi regime that is YouTube's censorship policies. If it does make it through somehow, make it through, it's for your eyes only. I don't need to. I don't need any more thoughts in my DMs. Speaking of YouTube being putrid cowards, how about the boys make an OTAT email that us fans can contact with our raw, unadulterated thoughts, opinions, and stories. Keep up the good work and see you both in the metaverse. Love, Meta Keith Rogan. You know what?
Wow.
Round of applause, mate. I've already spent enough time on it, but that's a good 800 words there.
I was going to say, can we get a word count on that?
Oh, I'm not. I can't.
No, that's fine. It's a solid essay. And that's what Keith does. He's not the most active reviewer. He's not a papker. He leaves one every single week. But what he does is he saves them up.
I mean, when
he does come through,
he just comes with the goods. Would you say it's a solid essay from a very solid essay?
To answer your question, essay, yes, we do have an OTAT email. And if you're finding, he makes a great point, if you're finding that YouTube, the Nazis over at YouTube censorship headquarters, won't let you post what you want to post on the YouTube comments, email us on the air tonight podcast at gmail.com. That's on the air tonight podcast at gmail.com. And I don't think Gmail censorship policies really fucking exist, because we've all seen a good old-fashioned email, scandal.
Some phishing.
You see some terrible things come out of emails, is the point I'm trying to make.
Yes.
You see all sorts of things. So I think all bets are off when it comes to emails. So if you want to use some words, some uncouth words that Dad might have used in the last podcast that got cut out, tell us whatever you want and send it to ontheairtonightpodcast at gmail.com.
Or if you don't have an email but somehow have an Instagram, you can also just slide into our DMs on Instagram. Say what you need to say. Just give us your 2 cents worth. We'd love to hear it.
Let us know. What a big week of reviews.
It has been a big week.
Now the show starts. Hope you liked the intro.
I do want to say one quick shout out before we do wrap this up, like a present. I was going to say something very inappropriate then, but I decided to go wholesome. Shout out to band Ashgroove. Ashgroove have just released their first music video. They played a gig earlier this week, sponsored by Fireball. But go check it out. The song's called Effortlessly, directed by 2 very good friends of the show, Will Heathwood and Jordan Liner. Just like to say thank you so much to everyone who was involved. But go check it out. Awesome music video. The band is in the process of writing some new music, potentially releasing an album this year. So go check them out.
Great band.
Give him a follow on Instagram and you can keep up to date with any gigs coming up.
Fucking oath. Why do you think I've got sunglasses on in the studio this week? It's because Ash Group played a show last night on a Tuesday.
Tommy had a big night.
Did Tommy get free fireball shots at the bar just because? Didn't even ask for them. Did I have maybe 1 or 2 or 3 too many of those?
I think he gave it to you for free as a chaser to your awful cocktail idea of a VLS.
A VLS. A vodka lime soda.
No one's ever heard it. I've never heard it called a VLS.
I came out to the group. I was like, Jake's like, what do you drink? I was like, oh, VLS. Everyone's like, what? Vodka lime soda. They're like, why are you calling that? I'm saving time, dude.
You're really not. Like, vodka lime soda, VLS.
VLS.
Vodka lime soda.
How come every bartender knows exactly what I'm talking about? And you fucking nutties had no idea.
Because you're talking to the professional behind the counter who's also a debilitating alcoholic.
Okay.
So it's his job to know.
To know the acronyms of the things that fund their addiction.
To know about ostentatious little acronyms.
I do have one flood story before we wrap up.
Go on.
Even though the show's just starting. I've got a bit of a hot scoop.
All right.
Did you see the footage that went around of the houseboat collapsing?
Mm-hmm.
If you've been doom scrolling at all this week or just doom watching the news, you would have seen footage of a houseboat floating down the Brisbane River with a man on it. You can visibly see a guy walking around. Bystanders are filming and terrified. They're like, holy shit, it's going to hit it. It's going to hit it. The houseboat hits it's like a jetty, like a big, no, it's a ferry terminal. Ferry terminal.
Okay, yep. So a pontoon.
A pontoon.
Yep.
It's all you need to know to paint the picture is a big houseboat collides with another big thing.
That's not water.
That's not water. It's not meant to be there. And everyone's going, fuck, jump off. The guy kind of just jumps off before it happens. Mm-hmm. But as soon as this thing hits, there's a massive, it fucking like crashes. And then it just gets sucked down. Mm-hmm. It just gets sucked down into the Brisbane River like that.
Terrifying.
Big, heavy fucking houseboat. And everyone's like, oh my God, this guy gets sucked down with the debris, with the rubble. I know what happened to that man.
Okay.
I've got a bit of a hot scoop.
Righto.
And this hasn't been on any Channel 9 fucking news outlet or anything. So come. Tom Farley reporting from the Brisbane River. Mm-hmm. So my neighbour, Scotty, shout out Scotty from Colorado. He's a Yank.
I met him the other week.
You did meet him, yeah. Lovely guy.
Loves his cause.
So, yeah, loves his cause. Yeah. He's like, I've got a 6-pack of cores in there. I'm going to go smash. I was like,
nice, man. You're going to have about 0.8 standards.
Yeah, very American of you, drinking shit beer. Shit, weak piss beer. Just chatting to him over the fence and, you know, having a yarn. How's the floods? Yeah, good. He's like, he goes, oh, did you see the guy on the houseboat? Did you see the video? I was like, yeah. And he's like, I helped pull him out of the river.
Oh, shit.
So, again, full disclosure, the guy was fine in the end.
Yeah.
It's not a death video. It's not a snuff film.
Snuff film. Oh, what's your porn type? I love watching people fucking drown, dude.
Snuff TikTok.
I love people just seeing people get swallowed up by Mother Nature.
Really gets the jimmies rustling. Puts lead in my pencil.
Snuff video.
This wasn't one of those because all the reports were he survived and he got pulled out. But Scotty was amongst the people. He was standing down by another one of the ferries, just by the water's edge, and this big fucking houseboat comes in, all the rubble, and everyone's like, holy shit. And then they see a guy who's like in and amongst, and they're like, holy fuck, we gotta save him. So he basically like got pulled down, but then they all saw him go down, and they're like, oh my God, he's dead. He's dead. Pops up about 3 minutes later. He was in this little like pocket of air. Old codger, like 60 years old.
Oh shit.
Yeah. He pops up and they linked arms to get him out. It was like a real human effort, a real bystander effort. And they get him out. And this old codger, he's like 60, had nothing with him, had no phone, nothing. He's just lost his house. Everyone's like, oh my God, are you okay? Blood pissing out of his head. He just gets out and they're like, oh, you need to go to hospital. And he's like, I'm going to the pub.
You wouldn't believe the day I've had. Well, I can. I saw it happen.
I just saw it.
Don't care.
Yeah. He's like, I've lost 3. He's an old Bodie. He's lost like 3 houses in the past. Like, it's not his first rodeo. He's got blood pissing out of his head. And he's like, can someone give me a lift to the Story Bridge? I want to go see my mates and have a beer with them.
What a legend.
I was like, oh my God.
Did Scotty dox this man?
No. Well, he didn't have an ID on him, and he said, I don't want to tell you my name because I don't even want this to be a thing. I don't want to be on the news. Don't want this to be a story. So he was like, talk about complete anonymity. Like, you've just lost all of your possessions, including your license. Probably lost his fucking, tax file number down there. His fucking ABN. Like, there's nothing to the man.
That bloke is the epitome of an egend.
He's an egend.
He's an egend. He's a legend without
an egend. He's an off-the-grid egend.
He is, yeah. The little egend that could.
And everyone's going, there's ambos there. They're like, man, you're not well. Him going, I need to go to the pub is like a football player going, I want to go back out in the field.
Put me back in, coach.
Yeah,
it's like your leg is severed.
I'm a doctor, and I'm telling you, you're not making sound decisions.
Tell you what, you snapped your neck. If you can actually use your legs, you can go back on the pitch.
Yeah.
Oh, God, don't know how to do that.
Well, I can't stand,
No,
sir.
come on.
Don't ask me to stand, let alone run. But it's like, at some point, you need to take the decision out of a man's hands who's probably full of adrenaline, still in shock.
Yeah.
It's like, you're not going to the pub. And Scotty, the Colorado neighbor, was like, honestly, man, I was like, you can't take him to the hospital if he doesn't want to go. I was going to get him a taxi over to the pub. I didn't care. I was like, I think you should have gone to the hospital.
You know what? The cunt's had, sorry to use that word, but the bloke has had 3 houses capsize. Even if he survives the hospital, all he's going to do afterwards is go have a beer. And yes, they need to do tests for concussion and any other sort of internal injuries or whatever. But like, you know what? If I had the choice between, if I'm 60 going on 70 and this is my 4th house that's been swallowed up by the great brown snake, if I had the choice of having a beer with my mates and that's my last memory before I, get whisked away into nothing, into the abyss, or potentially surviving in hospital by them doing a couple of CAT scans and whatnot, I'm taking the former every time.
Yeah. Yeah, you sound like the old codger.
Yeah,
you sound like every Australian.
It was because it was me.
Yeah, I am him. Didn't tell me that story. That was wild. We saw each other the day after. No, but I mean, so the ambos were there. I was like, because I think a few people were like, let him go to the pub. And I'm sure the ambos were like, if we let this man go get a beer and then he has like an aneurysm or
We're
like
fucked.
alcohol in the brain, then he dies, kind of comes back to us. So eventually...
But who's going to sue him?
The man doesn't have an ID.
He's dead.
He's not suing from the grave. Or from the bottom of the river.
No, that's what a legend.
Yeah, and Scotty said, what happened in the end was the ambos were like, we'll take you to the pub. We'll give you a lift. And he got in. And I'm like, they did not take him to the pub.
No.
He rocks up at the hospital. He's like, where's the beer? Like 4 days into a fucking coma. He's like, they said I was going to the pub.
They just like knocked out the neon sign, like just everything but the P on hospital, and then just put UB in cardboard above. It's like, oh, pub. Okay.
Pub.
Pub.
Oh, I'm at the fub.
Oh, we're at the club. At the perb.
Can I get a stoner wood? Sir, we only have morphine here. I'm sorry.
All right, beggars can't be choosers. Hook me up. Hook me up, doctor.
Hook me up, Susie. I'm going in. But yeah, Scotty was just amazed because like that's a very Australian larrikin story that we
For sure.
Have come to expect. But him as a Coloradoan, he was like, it was just the most Australian thing I've ever seen. Like he was truly shocked by that's how we are.
Well, I mean, congratulations to Scotty, was
Scotty.
it? Scotty for having the most pure Australiana experience he can.
Yeah.
Oh, I just realised our nation's name has the L in it.
Gonna have to move.
Australia. I guess that's what we call it. Australia.
Why do you think we call it Australia?
You're not wrong. Awesome anecdote. Awesome.
Great story.
Probably
right?
the best story we've told on this podcast.
Well, I didn't even tell it, which is the funny thing.
You just did.
No, I mean, Scotty told it. I retold it.
Yeah, even if it's third party, it's still
I'll take
happened
it.
to us.
I'll take it. We'll clip that up.
Yeah, that's Canva material right there.
That'll be clipped. The only other thing that happened during floods, we're probably running over time at this point.
We are, definitely.
I live pretty close to the wharves.
Mm-hmm.
I can walk down there.
Yep.
Was up there looking at the debris kind of all week. It was when it was all a bit crazy.
Mm-hmm.
A bit crazy. I'm amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And I went down the other day. I got Queensland Police put a alert out on their Facebook, and they were like, everyone abort Howard Smith Wharves. What's the other word for abort? Evacuate Howard Smith Wharves. Evacuate with like the triangle emojis from the police. So everyone's like, oh my God. People are resharing it on Instagram. Evacuate Howard Smith Wharves. A crane has come loose and is floating down the river.
I saw that.
A crane has come loose and is floating down on a pontoon down the river. I was working from home and I left it for 5 minutes. I was like, I'm sure I'll see some footage of it. I'm not going to go down and look at it. And then at like 5 minutes, I was like, fuck it, I gotta go
see this solo crane.
Yeah, I got to see this with my own eyes. I get down there and there is 200 people.
Watching the crane.
200 people,
Brilliant.
no hyperbole, like stacked up. Everyone's seen this report and they've gone, oh, I'm going to the fucking wall.
Awesome. Yeah.
Just fucking doom watching. Like, crazy.
If you thought crane counting was easy in Brisbane.
Oh my God.
Now it's staring you right in the middle of the river like an eyesore.
And I didn't count one.
That happened to us when I was like in 2011. My mum was working at a business in West End and I went there to help with like moving shit for the floods. And at the end, we went up to Kangaroo Point to go watch like the fucking just absolute furious water just channel down the river. And just saw some dude's pontoon with his like yacht attached to it, just like detached from the cliff and just float down the river. I was like, no one's safe in the eyes of God.
No
one is safe.
Anything can happen.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So,
yeah, it's crazy times.
It is.
But people want to see it. Like,
oh yeah,
it's human nature, right?
For sure. You can't look away from a train wreck.
There were helicopters flying over above. There were police boats out there. There were coast guards. The chopper's flying over above us, and it's going, move away from the water's edge. Everyone go the fuck home.
Yep.
Like, don't watch this. And everyone's like, nah. And they're just hanging around watching it.
It's all right. I did little nippers. I know how to swim.
Yeah, I'm up here, and the water's down there. I'm safe up here, dude.
We're 70% water. So what do you think 70% of me can do to me?
I'm 70% water. We're all basically flooding all the time. Anyway.
Actually, you know what? You will stay here. In fact, go down lower. Let's do some Darwinism here. You guys just go closer to the water. Get your Instagram photos. Get your TikTokies.
You all want to be viral. You want to be the guys who get the crane footage. Go get a closer look. I dare you.
Count your crane, then count your grave. How does that sound?
And it was a fucking blowout in the end. The crane never even came. The crane.
Oh, you didn't see it?
No, it didn't even come. Everyone was
cheer.
like waiting with bated breath. I waited there for about 20 minutes. I was like, I'll see you.
It's a shame you had such a good story and you followed it with one of anticlimax. It's just that's all I'll say. It's a shame.
I'll just say it's not a bad story. It's just a shame. Thanks, dude.
Dude, it was this crane it like detached from the pontoon and started floating down the river, man. Did you see it? Nah, I didn't see it.
Didn't come. Well, that's how they on the news. Like Carlos was down there. We got Carl in Brisbane at the moment.
Carlos
Stefanovic.
Right,
Who's down by the wharves.
You know how many Carls there are in Australia?
Carlos in news. There's one.
Right, okay.
Carl's down there. They're all like, "This crane's coming. The crane's coming." The police have posted it. Everyone's losing their minds about this fucking crane, and then they get footage of it, and it just like banks in the middle of the river. Didn't do shit.
Anticlimax.
And you know everyone's disappointed, even though it would have caused more damage and hurt more lives. We all want to see shit get fucked up. There's a reason like Roman Polanski movies are a thing.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I'm
like,
not going to touch that one.
Disaster films is like when you see a fucking sinkhole go through or like the Eiffel Tower get ruined.
Or something burning.
It's like, ooh.
Yes. Yeah, I'm with you.
You're licking your lips.
You're not wrong.
Does that make us bad people? Yeah.
No, it just makes us human.
I'm just human.
But look, it's been a fun episode. And if you have joined us so far through this episode, we'd like to say thank you for joining us on the air tonight. Our thoughts go out to you if you are experiencing the natural disaster or if you've got COVID. You know, we haven't forgotten about you if you're dealing with a fucking world pandemic, you know, destroying your immune system right now.
Don't forget about COVID just because there's a bit of water floating
There's just a bit of fucking water. Just remember there's still a virus going around. So we do thank you so much for joining us this week on the air tonight. If you do enjoy this content, you should give us a follow on Instagram. You should also have a look at our TikTok, which is on the underscore
air tonight, I think. Search it on TikTok, it'll come up.
You'll find it. And get amongst it. Get amongst the OTAC community. Give us a review. Give us some suggestions if you want to hear us talk about something. We could wax poetic about many a subject.
Just let us know which you prefer. You know, TV shows or floods.
As long as it doesn't have the fucking letter L in it, then we'll do it.
On the air tonight, no L's. Goodbye, no L's in that.
Only dubs, no L's.
Only dubs. Bye-bye.